Hello there, YouTube. It's been a while. At this point, we're probably nearly 4 years since the last time I uploaded a video to this channel, and I apologize for that. I kind of left y'all hanging. I did a video showing the build of my updated PC in the Fractal Design Meshify 2, the Meshify 2 XL specifically, that I had spray painted, and it was really awesome. I really was happy with how that whole process came out, and the build has been fantastic. I'll probably show some B-roll of it real quick. I don't want to hear anything, by the way. If you have anything smart to say about the reservoir and the fluid level in there, look, I get it. It's lower than I would normally have it, but also the whole point of this video. With that being said, state of this channel. I don't know that much is going to change. I don't know that there's going to be some influx of content over the next few months. There will be some videos here soon. I do have plans for something, but there isn't really anything that is going to be super substantial coming down the pipeline beyond the initial project that I'm about to tell you about. Also, you might be able to tell I'm in a different space, different backdrop, different setup. I'm just using my camera that I would use for streaming, you know, if I actually ever bothered to stream, which is neither here nor there. Yeah, we moved. We moved at the end of October. It was kind of a thing that was forced on us by the last place that we lived at. Story for another time. If you guys want to hear it, I'll be happy to tell what I feel is important to know about it. But yeah, we ended up moving. We're pretty happy where we're at the moment. But if anybody knows anything about the state of renting in the United States in general, it's not perfect. And that's not really the only thing. Lack of space continues to be a thing. This room is bigger, but still isn't very conducive to doing YouTube, at least not in the sense that I want to. I also still don't have a test bench up and running. I donated my graphics card that I was using for my test bench to my nephew when I built his computer. Should have done a video on that. And then the power supply that I had ended up going to my kid's sister's PC that was built. So could have done a video on any of those things, but ultimately decided not to do so. I could have done a video when I flushed the loop and ultimately did the maintenance on my PC that was probably a year overdue. I could have done a video when I converted my kid's system back from the EK Fluid gaming kit to a traditional AIO. By the way, Be Quiet Pure Loop AIOs, pretty fantastic value given what you get for the money. Could have done any number of videos at any given point about any given subject, and I just haven't done it. So here we are. This is how it is. So I don't anticipate a whole lot of things changing in the next few months, as I stated a little bit ago. There's some evergreen stuff that I'm considering doing, but I don't really know if it's going to be something that I really focus on. I do kind of want to do a follow-up to the RGB converter video because I'm still getting questions on that video from people who just are still confused by RGB in general. And I feel like a follow-up might be worth doing. I might even do a stream. You know, I kind of want to get back into streaming. And one of the things I've considered doing is doing some tech streams and talking to the people in chat and answering questions. But one of the things I may do is kind of just look back at this video and kind of look through some of the comments and pick out some of the ones that I think are more interesting and just do a video talking about these questions, because there's a lot of stuff that you guys have been asking. A general state of RGB video might be good as well. So we'll see. There's some ideas that are floating around, but execution of these ideas is where I need to kind of figure things out. Now then, for the short term, there will be some videos. I am fully planning and intending, and hopefully follow through on this, on doing a new build vlog. And the whole idea behind this build vlog is I'm going to be revising my PC again. And the way that this PC is going to be revised is I am going to be changing out a few of the parts, and we're going to move forward with probably the biggest upgrade of them all, a new graphics card. I'm still on a 1080 Ti. It is really now just starting to show its age, especially at 1440p. So probably as good a time as there ever has been to do it. Probably gonna do a build vlog. We're gonna give there's gonna be at least a video on the parts that are going in, parts that are staying, and some of the bigger changes that I'm making. Spoiler, there's a pretty big one coming down the pipeline here. Well, big in the sense that I'm downscaling. I don't want anybody to think that I'm doing some massive big project, but I am downscaling things a bit, and I'll explain that in the build vlog. I don't think I'm going to be doing anything on the graphics card, but I might. But I might not do a traditional like, oh, here's the graphics card and here's why it's better, but really why I chose the card and just some thoughts on the whole situation between NVIDIA, AMD, and even Intel. Intel is really ruffled some, has really made some waves in the lower to low mid tier. If they ever really pull the gloves off and go for the upper end, I think we have a real interesting situation developing. I don't know if I'll do one on the fans. Everybody knows I love the uni fans. I have new variants of the uni fans. Again, build vlog, make you wait for that. And that's probably about all there will be in terms of parts. There will probably be a video showing how I drain the loop and take that apart. I've had a lot of questions from friends who aren't as familiar with custom loops on how that process goes, so might be something on that. And I will, of course, do the actual PC build. The rebuild in the new case with the new parts going in, with the parts that I'm keeping, and go from there. Biggest hindrance to this whole project is I just don't look forward to the part where I have to reinstall a bunch of stuff and reset up settings and configurations and all that, but that does go with the territory. I am doing a fresh install of Windows because I have a new M.2 NVMe that I'm going to be using as my boot drive. As tempting as it is to just move everything over to the new drive, I know that's not the way that it should be done, so we're going to do a fresh install of Windows and we're going to roll from there. After that, that's the hazy part. I don't know. As I said, might be some evergreen stuff that I can do. There's a few questions that have come up in my friend group regarding PCs and various things that I didn't think were really big mysteries, but apparently they are. So might be some questions worth answering, and I will probably try to do that. Beyond that, we'll see. I could talk about streaming. I could talk about content creation, things that I've learned. I've seen a lot of bad advice going across the internet, whether it be Twitter or at least what used to be known as Twitter, TikTok and other platforms. People just giving bad advice. It's wild out there right now. Like the massive amount of misinformation that just gets spread around like wildfire is really something. So there's a few little topics I might nitpick around. Really though, it comes down to, most importantly for me, motivation. Just don't always have the motivation to set set the camera up, set lights up, and try to go about this. Even with the PC build, it takes me less than a couple of hours to put a PC together. That time changes when you're trying to film because you have to keep moving things around and shifting things and trying to make sure you're getting a good angle. And I just get to a point to where I don't want to do that. And that's the motivational part. Obviously, it'd be easier if I had a bigger space, had multiple cameras, or had someone who could operate the camera, but that's not the case. So I've got to work within the confines of what I have. Time is always an issue. I still work a full-time job. I now edit videos for a friend, and I've done a terrible job at that because I haven't given her any new content in the last 3 months, maybe even longer. But I did start editing videos for a streamer by the name of Alltime Brianna. So that's kind of taken up some time, and that's not a knock. I don't want her, if you see this beat, this is not me complaining. I very much enjoy making your videos. Don't you do it. But it does. It takes up time, and you have to balance. And I'm not very good at this balance because really what takes up most of my evening time now, if I'm not, harassing my child, is video games. A couple of years ago, almost 3 years ago, I went looking for a group of people to play Destiny 2 with. The group that I had been playing with wasn't playing that much, and I stumbled across the aforementioned Alltime Brianna and her group of wild and kooky friends, and I have integrated myself into that community in ways that I didn't expect. And it has really been an incredible time. The game has its ups and downs, but the group has persevered through these wild swings in this game. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I got to meet a bunch of these people last year at GCX in Orlando, and while I won't be able to go this year because work is going to be a real chore this summer, I'm glad that I got to go last year and meet these people. And, when you find a group of people that are just fun to spend time with, hold on to that because it's actually pretty exceptionally rare. And so that's the other part of the balance is I really have to decide, do I want to sit down in front of this computer and just edit videos, or do I want to hop in game and cause the chaos that I've become known for? And more often than not, I choose the route of chaos. So that's taken up a bunch of time. I really just need to figure out a better way to pick a day or two where I just edit stuff, a few days where I just play games, and then the rest of the week is catching up on household chores, because those are things too, and other things. So that's really kind of where we're at. I don't know that it's going to change or improve, but to the people who have subscribed since the last video, I appreciate it. I'm sorry. I wish I could do more for you, but at the end of the day, it really is motivation. I'm going to be real. When I actually sit down and get to it, it can be a lot of fun, but sometimes you just sit there and you just want to just get it over with. And for me, PC building is that. Like if I could just stream the build, I would probably do that. Unfortunately, I can't do that because half the parts that I need are in the PC right there next to me. So not really an option there, but you know, it is what it is. So we'll see what happens. Let me know specifically if there's things like related to PC tech or streaming or content creation in general that you might be interested in the comments down below. I'm always entertaining ideas, and I'm going to sit here and try and think of ways that I can make some sort of content without having the space or a test bench that I would otherwise need. I may be able to get a test bench back here sooner than later. I would, at the end of the day, just need memory and a power supply, but I still don't know where I would put it because I don't really have a great spot for that in this space, so we'll see. In the meantime, though, if I do start streaming again, twitch.tv/daveykmedia. I'm still sporadically active on social media. So if you're looking for updates, you know, daveykmedia pretty much on every major platform. In the meantime, though, I'm going to get on out of here. I will begin work on this build vlog here in the next day or two. It is Friday. It is March 8th, and I'm really hoping to have this done, up and running, and back in business by Sunday. So that's kind of the goal for the weekend. Get the current PC taken apart, get the new one up and running, and hopefully by the time you see the next round of videos, I will be editing them on the new version of the PC, and we will be off and running. So keep an eye out, and I will see you all next time, whatever that may be. Adios.